few baseball-related things to get into. We've got plenty here. I want to talk a bit about Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what a rough go it has been for the Angels. He was on that absolute tear earlier in June. I think he had like 15, 16 home runs in June. Slowing it down a little bit, as is the case with the Angels. And now it's just looking like all of his efforts are wasted, unfortunately. Trout goes down. Not that that's anything new. It's only right. As soon as July 1st, you got to have Kershaw and Trout on the IL. So the Angels having a whiff. They are swinging and they're missing. That's what's going on, basically. So, 9 of their last 10 now. That's what it's looking like. They just can't string together a couple of wins. They seem almost impervious to being able to play on the road. And that's one of the things that you have to be able to do. And now they're sub 500. We're at the All-Star break. And the Angels are just continuing to lose. I think Ohtani gets a lot of unfair criticism, but it's more so just pity now. That's what it's turned into. It's not disappointment that he can't. There's really nothing more that the guy can really do for his team. Now it's just a situation. The guy who's playing for the Los Angeles fallen out of heaven Angels. That's what they've become now. And then he doesn't field, of course, so it looks like every game that he goes 0 for 4, it just turns into him being virtually invisible. It's clear to me that the Angels, they can't really win. It's like the combination of Trout and Ohtani doesn't equal W's. You add LeBron and Wade together, you get rings. That seemed to be the formula in basketball, but right now in baseball, that's just not the case. They're going to have to shake things up. Upper management is going to have to move things around because it's just not working. Nothing is making any sort of sense here for the Angels. And it's gotten to a point where I think things, if they're going to be shaken up, Ohtani's still going to be great. He's still going to have an amazing season. Myself as someone who's on Team Judge, I think he's more valuable. I just have enough reason to believe he's more valuable than Ohtani is. As much as I do love Ohtani, and I got to give him some love, you know. It's just so hard to look at him and not see how terrible his team is. You know why? Because I look at him and I see his jersey that he's wearing. That's why. And I always criticize people that go on their hands and knees for Ohtani. Like, this guy's going to win AL MVP every single year. And it's like, I mean, I would never say that about Judge, but I do feel like I'm in the same boat. I don't know. It's like, I already made a video about this. So it's like, I'm not going to keep defending Judge. Obviously, it sucks that he's injured right now and I want to see him play. But I love baseball, so I'm going to be keeping those comparisons going. I'll probably make another video about them as we reach the end of the season, you know. But yeah, Ohtani obviously doing it in everything. Leading the American League, leading the entire Major League Baseball. He's got 1060 OPS, 32 home runs, doing everything that he possibly can. Even pitching well. But you know who's been pitching well? It's been a guy named Blake Snell. Maybe you haven't heard of him, but the man is going hard. He is absolutely insane. The run that Blake Snell is on, you probably haven't even heard of him. He has 1 game with 10 strikeouts, 2 games with 11, and 2 games with 12 strikeouts in his last 9-game stretch where he's only allowed 4 runs. He's only allowed 4 runs in 53 innings. 53 innings this guy has been going on an absolute tirade. Blake Snell, gonna name my son after him. He is the man. If you haven't heard about him, I understand why, because he's not as flashy as Judge or Ohtani. He looks a little weird, and you don't know how good he is. He had a rough start. March and April weren't good to him. But the Padres, man, they are just rolling. Joe Musgrove is getting it going as well. Machado, are you back? Help us out. All of the dear Padres fans out there that are just crying for some Machado help and some Soto help. Well, you're getting help from your pitching. You're getting help from Blake Snell. And everybody needs to know this guy's name, all right? Not just fantasy managers, okay? You all need to understand this guy's the best pitcher in baseball right now. He went from having a 5.5 ERA. He's down to 2.85 at the All-Star break. The Padres have got to realize that they are in a huge opportunity here. Something that I like to say is when a team looks this good, they have an illegal lineup. Okay, last year, the LA Dodgers had an illegal lineup. That's what happened. You saw Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Trey Turner. That was an illegal lineup. And you have the same situation here with the illegal Padres. Tigers had a no-hitter. I'm just happy to see the Blue Jays win. Screw the Tigers, okay? No one's going to care about you, all right, Matt Manning? Sorry, no disrespect at all. But could you come up with a name that's less Midwestern? The guy's like Matt Manning. The guy sounds like he's from Oklahoma or Missouri or Arkansas. I'm more focused on the Blue Jays getting that as kind of the only blemish in their last 6 games. I'm like, let's go. This is going to be great. They're rolling because they are. And I got to see this from the Blue Jays after getting swept to the Red Sox. I know that was like a couple weeks ago, but trying to keep this in perspective here. Climbing that ladder. As long as the Rays keep losing and the Yankees keep losing, please, guys. Something that the Blue Jays do not have to worry about being in the American League is a guy named Elly De La Cruz. Okay? Remember how I said that you need to remember a guy by the name of Blake Snell? Well, get ready for Elly De La Cruz, all right? This guy, being the self-proclaimed mayor of Cincinnati, except this time he's not going to get trash talked by Travis Kelce. This dude is literally the guy that the broadcasters for Cincinnati, they've given him the title most electrifying guy in baseball right now. And usually you can say, all right, well, the broadcaster, they're a total homer. They're going to say stuff like this. But this time it is true. Okay? This dude literally is going to be, he is going to be, you know how like in the NBA, they're huge on like making sure that every single trophy is named after someone? Well, get ready for this, okay? Elly De La Cruz is the guy who is getting this trophy named after him, and the trophy is called Who Is This Guy? Where Did He Come From? And How Do We Make More? That is what I think of when I see Elly De La Cruz. So he had a game last week, in case you missed it, and it's very possible that you did because no one cares about the Cincinnati Reds. The guy stole second. He stole third. He stole home, okay? He arrived at home, gets to fourth base, and this all happened while there was just one guy at bat. The same pitcher, obviously, but there was just one guy at bat. Elly De La Cruz is sneaking around all the bases, and the most preposterous thing happened when he went for fourth plate. He freaking gets by with the pitcher not even paying attention to him. I don't know who this pitcher was for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but the dude literally has to concede second and third. There was no shot for the pitcher on the third base steal because there wasn't the third baseman covering it at all. And the pitcher is just jogging back. He's like this, grabs the ball from the catcher, walks around, pushes his hat up, goes like this, warming around, and then the guy, Elly De La Cruz, is already taken home. Like, how can you turn your back on this guy? This dude is literally flying all the way around. If you give him a walk, you might as well give him a run because he's going to get to home plate. Gets there faster than probably anybody. But my goodness, is this dude insane. And he can hit the ball for power. He's probably like 6'5", 6'6". He's this absolute beast, physical monster that Cincinnati called up, and now here we are. All-Star Weekend. The guy didn't make it because it's just a popularity contest. And it's not even that. You have to be hot. You have to get on some kind of a streak at the right time. So for the All-Star break, this is also the same as the MVP thingy. And this transcends baseball. So if you want to make it to the All-Star game, which is on Tuesday, all you have to do is you have to get really, really hot at the end of May and all throughout June. And then you're going to get into the All-Star game. If you want to win MVP, you have to have a pretty good year, but you have to really, really get hot in September. And that's all you have to do. Because that's all that these things are, and that's all anyone really cares about, you know? But but for the MVP, it's a little bit harder, obviously. But to be considered a candidate, you don't have to have an outstanding April or an outstanding May or an outstanding June. You just have to be consistent, like Acuna and Ohtani. But it's cool, you know. Unfortunately, I have to kind of resort to other things like tennis and polo and darts while there's no baseball on until Friday. So I'm sure a lot of people that only care about hockey and basketball can relate. Matt, this is the summertime, okay? It lasts for more than just a week because we don't care about baseball. All right, fine. But understand that as a sports broadcaster, it is my duty and my responsibility to be keeping my eyes fixed on whatever sports is going on. And if you're a basketball fan and you consider the Summer League basketball, I mean, sure, whatever. Wembanyama being taken out, I was explaining this to my brother just today, that Wembanyama being taken out just after game 2 tells me right away that he is on a trajectory to miss a whole bunch of games. We're going to see a lot of 30, 35, 40 game seasons in the future for this guy. And I just really don't want that to happen, you know? I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong in that situation. But alas, we've got more baseball coming, and we're going to be watching it and making sure we're covering as many top stories as we can.